In the city of Jerusalem, there lived a young man named Jotham, who was a friend of King Solomon. Jotham was a good and virtuous man, but he was harassed by a demon named Ornias. Unlike creatures of his kind, this demon possessed a unique ability. He could take the form of a man, one of such stunning beauty that he captivated all who saw him. Ornias roamed the villages and towns in his human form, mingling with the people. He appeared a charming young man with an engaging smile and eyes that seemed to see beyond the surface. But behind that facade, his intentions were dark. He sought out those whose purity of heart shone brightest, for they attracted him as light attracts moths. Among his victims was a noble and brave young man whose goodness made him especially vulnerable to Ornias's machinations. Ornias, taking advantage of the darkness of night, would sneak up on Jotham as he slept. With a strange and disturbing ceremony, the demon would suck the vitality out of Jotham using the thumb of his right hand. This process left Jotham increasingly weak and pale, severely affecting his health. As the days passed, Jotham's situation became increasingly critical. Once full of life and youth, his face radiated fatigue and suffering. His family and friends noted with concern how he was losing weight and his spirit was waning. The young man, unable to understand the cause of his growing weakness, was becoming more exhausted and confused by the day. In the heavenly realms, the angels watched with concern and sadness. Despite their desire to intervene, the laws of heaven prevented them from acting directly. Thus, the suffering of the young man and Ornias's reign of terror continued. Solomon, the wise and powerful king, learns of the harassment Ornias inflicts on Jotham. He feels sorry for his friend and decides to help him. Solomon prays to God to grant him the power to subdue the demons. God answers him and sends him the Archangel Michael, who gives him a ring with the seal of God, which possesses the power to subdue the demons. The ring, more than a simple object, represented the trust and hope placed in Solomon, and it also demonstrated his ability to bring balance and justice, not only among men, but also in the spiritual realm. Solomon put on the ring and went to Jotham's house. Ornias appeared and, seeing the ring, prostrated himself before Solomon. Solomon ordered Ornias to leave Jotham and to tell him his name and origin. Ornias revealed he was a Red Sea demon the Israelites had captured during the flight from Egypt. Solomon was surprised that Ornias was such a powerful demon. Ornias told him he had been one of the leaders of the demons fighting against the Israelites at the Red Sea. However, the Israelites had defeated and captured him and imprisoned him in a bronze jar. Solomon ordered Ornias to tell him why he was harassing Jotham. Ornias said to him that he was jealous of Jotham because Jotham was a good and virtuous man, while he was an evil demon. Solomon told Ornias that he must stop harassing Jotham, or he would punish him. Ornias prostrated himself before Solomon and promised to obey his commands. Solomon gave Ornias a gold ring and told him to call for help. Ornias left, and Jotham stayed with Solomon. Ornias, a demon accustomed to an existence of evil and freedom, faces an entirely new reality. Under King Solomon's rule, he is forced to abandon his evil ways and employ his supernatural abilities in tasks of construction and servitude. The first great work in which Ornias participates is the construction of Solomon's opulent palace. Here, his supernatural strength and occult knowledge become valuable tools. The work is arduous and demanding, but Ornias, despite his demonic nature, fulfills his task, contributing significantly to the project's progress. His work also extends to the Temple of Jerusalem, a sacred place of great importance to Solomon's people. Although his participation here is more discreet, his contribution is no less critical. He works tirelessly, contributing to the creation of a place destined for worship and spirituality. This concept is foreign to him, and that begins to awaken his unnoticed curiosity. In addition, Ornias is assigned to directly serve Jotham, the man who had previously been his victim. This situation is tough for him, as he has to face the consequences of his past actions and learn to live with his former prey. After years in Solomon's service, the day came when Ornias was released. This demon, who once sowed fear and pain, had changed during his time with the wise king. Recognizing this change, Solomon presented Ornias with a golden ring as a sign of his freedom. Ornias, holding the ring, walked away from Solomon's court into the desert. This vast and quiet place became his sanctuary, where he could reflect on his past and contemplate his future. In the solitude of the desert, Ornias found himself in a process of transformation. He left behind his demonic form, emerging as a being of light. This new appearance manifested his inner change, transitioning from darkness to light, from cruelty to compassion. Ornias began to travel, using his new form to assist those in need. His past as a demon had given him a unique perspective on suffering. Now, he employed that understanding to aid and comfort the afflicted. Ornias' story closes with this remarkable transformation. Once feared, he had now become a being of hope and help. Once filled with strife and torment, his life was a trial of change and redemption.